You're listening to the Co-Creator Network. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Awakenings. For Tuesday, I don't even know what day it is. I just know it's Tuesday morning, towards the end of March. There is going to be an event in May that I'm going to be co-hosting with Regina Dawn Akers, along with Cheryl Valentine, who's actually the host. It's going to be an intimate gathering with Regina Dawn Akers. It's going to be at Santa Barbara, California in May. So I want to invite all of you, those of you who feel the calling to come, and you'd like to join us, May 10th, 11th, and 12th on 2013 in Mission, Santa Barbara, California. I don't know how many people are going to be there at this point. I think it will end up being the perfect number, as it always is on these things. Those who are called will show up, and they'll be there, and it'll be fun. Santa Barbara, I'm looking forward to it. Let me read a little bit of the event page here. This event is being called an intimate gathering with Regina Dawn Akers, but in truth, it will be an intimate gathering with yourself. Capital S, self. The objective is to support you in letting go of the false while becoming more and more clear on what is true. The world seems to be full of problems. People debate over what the answers to these problems might be. Sometimes it seems that the more we want peace and prosperity for everyone, the more we argue about how that can be achieved. Meanwhile, the answer to every question we could ever ask and every problem we perceive lies not in debate and pushing for one's opinion to be heard. It lies instead in stillness, in trust, in rest. Even if the world continues to be crazy, you can be peacefully and joyously sane. You can live in the world, but not of the world. And this weekend that we're talking about, May 10th, 11th, and 12th of this year in Santa Barbara, you will learn how to find your inner wisdom and stay in touch with it so you can live like a light in the world. Simply clear, peacefully present, and happily alive. So, if you hear the calling to join me and Regina and Cheryl in Santa Barbara for this event this coming May, please do. Look forward to seeing you and meeting you and sharing, learning together. Also, Teddy Poppy will be there. I don't actually have a complete list of who's going to be there, so I won't be able to read that here. Today, I want to talk about listening to guidance and knowing when it is guidance and when it is ego. Being able to know the difference between your thoughts and intuition or guidance. There can be confusion about which voice you're listening to if you're not clear about where the information is coming from. In other words, if you're receiving guidance and then you find yourself questioning whether or not it's true or not, whether or not you should be doing this or that or following this path or that path, there is a way that you can know which voice is the voice of truth. One of the milestones or the markers of truth when it speaks to you is that it is confident. There is no doubt and there is no second guessing. Intuition only happens in the now, and it speaks with confidence because it knows everything about now. If you are finding yourself receiving guidance and then questioning whether or not the guidance was true or not, then you can be assured that the questioning part of your dialogue about questioning it is ego. Questioning the guidance is just simply insisting that there is some other answer other than truth. There will never be any hesitation with truth as it comes to you. The hesitation only comes from questioning truth. And questioning truth is the ego. It is your thinking. It is your doubt. It is your insistence on being right. So how do we know when truth is speaking to us? Many of us are confused for most of our lives because we are on an automatic response mechanism. We are so habitually thinking that we are not aware when we are thinking. We do it without even thinking. We think without even thinking about thinking. It is a habit that we are in. So this habit is what causes confusion when intuition comes. So a good practice for recognizing when truth speaks to you as intuition is to recognize when you are about to decide to doubt it, when you are about to decide to make a judgment about it. Recognize when you are about to make a decision. How many of us are mindful of our minds and our thinking process to know when we are about to decide something? You know, all beliefs are the results of a decision. All beliefs are the result of a decision we make. But we are so habitually making decisions, so habitually thinking, we don't even recognize when we are about to decide. If you can watch your mind just for a little bit and recognize one time when you're about to decide to judge something or to condemn something or to doubt something, you can watch it and catch your mind just one time, you will recognize that all beliefs are the result of your choices, of your decisions. And you will be able to see that when processes come up or when intuition comes up and is presented to you, truth is presented to you, you will recognize that you have a choice. You have a choice to believe it or you have a choice to doubt it. It does take practice, just as it took practice for you to choose to doubt it. It takes practice for you to choose not to doubt it. It takes practice for you to recognize how you think. How do you think? It is possible to get to the point where you do not think, but you simply observe. And when you are in that observing mode, you can see the mind think. You can see when the impulses come up to make a decision. You can see when you're about to make a judgment, when you're about to choose to believe something. And if you can get to the point of no thoughts, and I know you can, because I've done it, and other people have too, when you get to the point where there's no thoughts, then you can recognize when you are about to make a decision, when you're about to make a judgment, which will eventually form into a belief. All beliefs are malleable. Remember, the world was made from a belief, the belief that we could somehow be separate from God, or the thought that we could somehow be separate, which is totally an insane idea, but we do believe it. And because we believe it so completely, we experience the world of separation, the apparent world of separation. In reality, it does not exist. So we can decide not to choose to condemn. We can decide not to choose to judge. And we can decide not to believe something. We can choose to believe, and we can choose not to believe. The secret is going to be in the quieting of your mind, because we are so habitually thinking. Thinking. Thinking goes on constantly, almost incessantly with the world. As a matter of fact, they train us, they being the people who teach education, the media, the world in general. They teach us to think at a very young age. Got to think. And it's almost negative stigma if you don't think. I had one time a teaching about thinking a few years ago that I posted it on my website, and somebody berated me for proposing that we should stop thinking. This person thought that was irresponsible and reckless. How irresponsible of you to propose that people not think in this world. We must think in this world in order to survive. Well, that's not really true. You don't have to think. Intuition is fully capable of leading you perfectly in every moment of your entire life. Do you think the animals in the world think, or do they just simply know what they are to do? Do the birds think, oh, I think I'll fly down to the southern part of the continent? Do you think they think that, or do you think they know that? I present to you that they are just following intuition, just following it. They know, and so they do. There's no thinking. And I'm proposing that there's a mechanism that knows what's best for you at all times. Right now, it knows what's best for you. It always knows what's best for you right now, because that's all it knows. It knows everything about now. Your job is to not question it, but simply listen. And because you are the chooser, you can choose to listen or you can choose to ignore. You can choose to judge, and you can choose to believe. That is who you are, the perfect one, holy Son of God. But you are in a habitual state of deciding a particular pattern, stimulus response pattern, where you have forgotten to even recognize when you have picked up the sword of thought, the sword of thinking, the weapon of judgment, the flashlight that projects your interpretation upon everything. Habitually making decisions and judgments about your situation clouds and blinds you to the perfect intuition that is presented to you in every moment. So today we practice the quieting of the mind, the quieting of the thinking, of the doubting of the one true, perfect, whole, inspirational thought that comes to us in every moment of our lives. It is possible to be the observer and not question anything. It is possible to simply observe and look and be. As Pamela Silberman wrote, simply be. It is possible to simply be and not judge, to be and not condemn, to be and not question. But it requires practice, because we are very good at thinking and judging mindlessly. By that I mean it's a habitual process of judging. We're very good at habits. Very good at habits. But we can break habits. How do you break a habit? First, you must recognize that you are habitually doing something. You must recognize that you are in an endless loop, or seemingly endless loop. I must do this, which means that I must do that, which means I must do this. And of course, that means that this must happen. An endless loop. For a loop to be stopped, an endless loop to be stopped, you must first recognize that you are in an endless loop that you have created, that you have made. Just stop. Simply stop. Recognize that your familiar endless loop, if it stops, you don't stop. You are forever. And no harm can come to you. So the first step is to recognize that you are in an endless loop created by yourself through your thinking process. Let's quiet the mind together right now. Listen. The thoughts that are coming to you right now are meaningless. Every thought you have right now means nothing. Let every worry that you have go. You have no worries. You have no thoughts. You are whole and perfect right now. Nothing can harm you. Listen. What do you hear? Turn your eyes off. In the stillness, there are no thoughts. But there is a sanctuary for you there. There is peace there. Direction for you is waiting for you to accept it and to recognize it. If you are thinking about it, let that go. Whatever thoughts come your way, brush them aside. We are not going to think about that right now. We will think about that maybe later. Let it go. imagine the toes in your feet relaxing. They are completely relaxed. Now that relaxing feeling continues through your ankles and the bottoms of your feet. Completely relaxed. Your feet have no thoughts. Allowing that completely peaceful feeling to continue up through your calves, your feet. Completely relaxed and peaceful. Now, your knees, so relaxed, completely relaxed. There is a peace in your feet and your knees and the calves. Moving on up your legs, this peace continues. Completely at peace. You have no thoughts. Now this warm, peaceful feeling continues up through your thighs, and up into your stomach, and your tummy, and your belly. Completely relaxed. This peaceful feeling now envelops your chest area. Up through your shoulders and down through your arms, all the way through to the tips of your fingers. Very relaxed and peaceful. Continuing up through your neck, and finally up through your face and your head to the top of your head and your ears. Where every fiber, every molecule of your body is completely relaxed. There are no thoughts. But there is a knowing. There is a knowing that today, right now, we thank that knowing for its presence. And we ask for assistance in recognizing when we habitually choose to judge. This has been Awakenings for Tuesday. Thank you for joining me today.